I am Uchenna Oradiegwu. I'm your host for today's episode. And our guest is Mr. Ifeka Johnbosco Chisom. Welcome to Creatives Converse.
Thank you.
So, Bosco Clothings has become a household name in the fashion industry in Awka, Anambra, Nigeria, and the world at large because your works have gone through different continents of the world. Can you walk us through the genesis of this big brand?
Well, the thing is, it wasn't meant to be fashion at the first place.
Okay.
But on the long run, I realized that this is actually what I wanted to do. So there was absolutely nothing passion-oriented. So it all started back in the days in school. I had these couple of friends in Aba who I helped to acquire a free tailoring class with one of my senior tailors then. And they all became good. So all of a sudden they call and they tell me if I have fabrics I should bring, that they'll make clothes free for me. So during my period of year 1, year 2, I was always trying to, look my best. I mean, the fact that I was hungry. So I had other businesses I was, trying to put through then. But it wasn't working. Get what I know do. I sold female slippers, I sold female gown, I did a fashion, a whole lot of things. But I get the most compliment on my outfits, especially after mass on Sundays. So it happened the first Sunday, the second and the third, and all of a sudden I was like, guy, I think I got to turn this into business. So that was how the whole thing started. So it was a means of survival at first. So I went back, I teamed up with these guys, we started the whole thing. I had a little capital added to theirs, and before I knew what was happening, I started seeing a kind of passion infused in the whole process. So on the long run, people in Oka started appreciating me. I saw myself, being creative. That was never the idea. So the idea was just to make these things, deliver, get my money, feed myself, feel better and all. So trust me, hunger was actually the motivator at the instance. Then on the long run, I think the hunger gave birth to passion.
So in essence, you became an accidental fashion designer.
Exactly. I think that's the best word.
But at the end of the day, I believe the end justifies the means because see where you are today. That's good.
Thank you so much.
Come to talk about it, you have started the first family of Anambra State. You have started the deputy governor. You have started the national chairman of the ruling party. You have started the speaker of the House of Assembly. You have started various, name them, countless commissioners. You have started, I won't talk about the SAs and PAs and all whatnot. Is there any political affiliation anywhere?
Absolutely not. There's one thing about value. Value attracts. So when I realized that this was my thing, I had to do the necessities, which was branding. And I tried as much as I can to make sure that I was up to date. So I don't think there's anything as much as, meaning your words, proclaiming your words, and being as creative as possible. Because for someone you treated right, the person would absolutely tell another whenever the thought of, the service I offer arises. So from referral to referral to referral, and trust me, whenever you work with me, you always want to come back. Like my popular adage will always say, a trial will convince you. So I don't need to talk too much. So there's absolutely nothing political about it. I styled all political parties. I have clients from APC, PDP. I rarely even know their party. So it's all about friendly service. And trust me, so far, I feel they all come back and they all keep referring me because I'm good.
During the Anambra Fashion Expo 2023, I recall that the governor of the Anambra State stopped at your stand to buy some outfits from you. Is it because you and the governor are from the same town, Isofia? Or because of the nature of works he saw on your stand that day? Or did somebody refer him to you? What happened? Like, how come the governor came directly to your stand? And I remember he bought several clothes that day.
Funny enough, I don't think the governor knows that I'm from Isofia. Till now, I have absolutely no knowledge of that. because to me it's been all about putting the works and making ends meet. So that day he didn't just come to my stand. He came, he glanced through what he saw, and he was like, I can remember his word. He was like, young man, you produce everything here in Anambra Banya. I was like, yeah, of course. He said, unbelievable. He went, he brought Uche Kwinife and some other two honorables. They came back and he told them, can you imagine that this guy said he produces everything here in Anambra? And they were like, whoa, the cameramen were just all around me. I didn't even know I didn't know I was that valuable. Like, the expression I saw in his face gave me, I think that if I was meant to
sense of hope.
Exactly, if I was meant to last in fashion for 5 years, just his appearance already that day made me increase to
50 years.
Because he shopped, he bought some palms, he bought some outfits, and I can't be more than grateful for having him around that day, because I think that actually contributed towards who I am, because people seeing the governor find me that valuable. Who are you?
Well, that is encouraging, because
Yes.
I believe that the Governor Soludo opposes mantle of one youth, two skills.
Exactly.
And seeing that a young man like you in Anambra State has ventured into such business of producing homemade materials, clothing materials, I believe he bought into that idea to encourage young people like you.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, you have no affiliations in politics.
Absolutely not.
Your work speak for you.
Exactly.
Now we have noticed that your works have permeated into the entertainment industry, business industry, and so on and so forth. Because I've seen you style Billord. I've seen you style Brain Jota. In fact, Brain Jota called you to come to Ozubulu, if I'm not mistaken, to come and deliver clothes. How come? Are you the only fashion designer in Anambra State? So what is the secret? How come? How do you get in contact with all these people? Or are your works still speaking for you, even beyond the four walls of Anambra State? So, Brain Jota, all these celebrities, how did they come to know about you? Bosco Clothing on Facebook, Bosco Clothing everywhere. What is happening?
I must confess, you did your research. Talking about Brain Jota, the very day he called me to deliver to him at Ozobolo, when I went there, after he tested, he called me at exactly 12 a.m. in the morning. That was, I think, the second week of January. So he was surprised that I was active. Like, what's up? What's happening? I need some outfits. I came for a burial. I think a seahorse mom's burial. I need some outfits. Like, how many outfits can you deliver within a few hours? I don't have time. I don't know whether you can deliver. I was like, how many outfits do you need? He was like, any amount of outfits, as long as something that would suit me. So I promised him that we were going to deliver 7 outfits for him, I think within 8 hours. So we worked all night as at then, because that was a bit of a seasonal period for us.
Yeah.
So
your workers are all
yeah in the factory. Yeah. So within 1 a.m. to 8 a.m. we were able to produce about 8 outfits for Brain Jota.
Wow.
So I drove straight to Ozobolo to deliver to him. Then here is the thing. So I was so anxious to know exactly how Brain Jota got to know me. So I was like, okay, sir, please, can I know who referred me to you? He started smiling. So as, his co-workers. So I was like, what's fun? I want to know. He said he told them that I would deliver, but they doubted him. That he typed, I think
he
something.
placed a bet on you.
Yes. Yes, he did.
Wow.
He did with his PA, and the other team. So he said he typed, I think a fashion designer or a very good fashion brand in Oka, something relating to fashion in Oka or Anambra State. I think Anambra State, that was what he said he typed. And my page was the first page that flew up.
Wow.
So immediately he saw my number there, and it was easy for him to chat me through Instagram. So immediately he chatted me. Within, I think, about 2 minutes, I replied immediately. And he was like, okay, now let's see how this goes. So he said nobody referred me, that he just saw me on the internet. So that actually made me understand that, I've been putting up videos almost every day of my life, and I seem not to be getting so much views. At some point, I do get enough views though. But I got some, sense of hope that, this is becoming very serious. So, Ihu Brain Jota from Lagos coming to Anambra, and I'm the one to be called upon to deliver an outfit for him from nowhere. So talking about Billord he's a known philanthropist. Aside that, I think he needed my service sometime. I had contact with one or two of his secretary, so through them everything worked, and since then we've been working. So, and so many other people. So I feel just being good is the best thing. Just mean your word. When you say your word, mean your word, and be as creative as possible. So I don't think there's anything extraordinary I do aside meaning the job and delivering.
So in summary, the sky is big enough for every bird to fly.
Exactly.
It's just that each bird would have to make their own impact.
Absolutely.
I am making your own impact.
Yeah.
In the fashion
I am.
world.
Indeed.
Well, that is good. Now, one thing is to acquire this large clientele. Many people are patronizing Bosco Clothings. Many people are talking about Bosco Clothings. Many people are wishing they could afford Bosco Clothings. Yeah, of course. I've seen people talk about, I wish I had money. So, are your clothes affordable for the high class? Or are they also available for the low class and middle class?
I must confess, I'm very affordable. I'm very, very, very affordable. We have outfits for various class of people. For the rich, the intermediate. I don't think there's anything like poor, because if you are even poor, there's no chance that you'll be seeing this video we are doing here. So if you're opportunity to be seeing this video now, you're not poor. So you can afford me. Trust me. So the thing there is, what value do you want? Come with what you have. We have something to offer.
So at Bosco Clothings, there is something for Tom, exactly. There is something for Dick, and there is something for Harry.
Exactly.
That's good. Getting these people to patronize you is one thing. Keeping them is another thing. How do you keep these people to keep coming back to buy from you? Because I know many people, when they buy one, it's like buy one, come back for another one. Okay, so how do you keep these people glued to your brand? And there's this pride people who wear Bosco Clothings carry. Like they call themselves the BC men or BC army. Okay, so what is the philosophy? What do you inculcate in this client that make them cherish and carry this brand with so much pride? How do you get them, keep them, and sustain them? What's the secret?
There's something I feel I lack, which is greed.
Yes.
I believe that charity is the most important concept of human productivity. So for you to be productive, you have to be charitable enough. So aside rendering service to my clients, I try as much as I can to infuse charity while I do such. I try not to bring in any atom of dissatisfaction in our transaction. I believe is a God-given gift, which by the special grace of God, I've transferred that into all my staff. So it's not a big deal.
So your members of staff have understood that charity is a virtue.
Yes, of course.
This fashion business.
If there's nothing they don't know about me, they know that I'm charitable enough.
Okay, going by your words, that charity is your watchword, a virtue that you uphold in this fashion brand. So at the end of this podcast now, you give me one or two fashion items to go with.
Well, let's see how that goes. Another thing is,
I take that as a yes.
No problem. That won't be a problem at all. Another thing is, aside the charity in the transaction, I try so much to extend the charity towards even people that don't meet me for transactions. Like I can recall a couple of times I go to church. There's this set of people that I normally see wear almost the same thing every Sunday. After some time, I'm always thirsty for excellence. So I can recall one or two times I call this set of guys, okay, guy, what's up? What's happening? I don't like what you guys are wearing. I'm a fashion designer. So see what's gonna happen. Come to the office by 2 p.m. on Tuesday. I have something for you. And they all come. I gift them.
Are they students?
3. Yeah, students, yeah.
Wow.
I do that often.
Wow.
I do that almost every month of my life.
Wow.
Yes, I do that.
And each of these actions leaves a mark on these students. Not just that you're a lover of fashion, but you are somebody who uses it as an avenue for charity.
Yes.
To look out for people who are not well dressed and
Exactly.
encourage them to keep.
Yes. Sincerely, there's no plan for benefits. It's something I do out of my well-being.
Just pure charity.
Yeah, pure charity.
Wow.
So,
that's great.
but some I can't even remember how many. I can't remember people I've gifted clothes in the past years. A whole lot of them. I give people clothes every week of my life.
Wow.
You get. So some we feel some depending on how they're able to understand the charity. Some would want to give you a shout out and the likes of those. Some would want to be a part and parcel of whatever you're doing because probably nobody have done something close to that to them before. Thinking that probably that was it. Thinking that would be a trap for me to get them into the whole brand thing, but no. So and I still accept them in between. So like I would always say, most of these people I don't even remember them. So but the joy is seeing them on Sundays wearing my stuff. After I must have gifted them, we always take pictures. I think I have a lot of them on Facebook and all, but we don't mention these things in public, of course. So that's the thing.
Wow. So using your brand as an avenue to reach out to people to reach out to people by involving yourself in some acts of charity. When these people you are gifting clothes, wear them. Your brand is also what?
Selling, of
Selling
course.
out there.
Exactly.
Because it doesn't matter who bought or who didn't buy. It's about who made this clothes, Bosco Clothing. And that's, I think, your association with students, you are quite popular among students because I've interacted with some students of Unizik.
Really?
Yes. Most of them, I say, Bosco Clothing. I was like, so this name is from grassroots? Because when people who are not quite close to you see this brand and everything, they think, oh, not these high class people, governor, deputy governor, even perhaps the president just visited Anambra State. Who knows? This one you are styling governor. Maybe our president is also wearing your brand. I don't know. So I think you are quite in the right direction. From grassroots, these students, because nobody spreads words more than these students. So
Exactly.
okay, so I think that is good. I'm seeing the reason why your brand is on the mouth of many young people in this town.
And besides, I'm a youth. You don't expect me not to mix more with the youth. I'm still a student. I'm towards the completion of my MSc in Unizik.
Wow.
I graduated in SEP school.
Wow.
So
I'm a fashion designer with an MSc.
Exactly. Yeah. PhD in
PhD
view.
in view.
Exactly. You get a point.
So Bosco, Ifeka Johnbosco Chisom, BSc, MSc, FRSC, CPP,
Exactly.
and so on and so.
Yeah, you did your research.
Okay. So there are so many young people I know personally. There are so many young people I know who look up to you. Most of them have not had the opportunity to meet you one-on-one, but I know many of them. Some of them are budding fashion designers, budding tailors, and so on and so forth. But they look up to you because they have seen your works and they want to be mentored by you. Do you have any avenue, any platform for mentorship for young people around who want to venture into this fashion industry? Is there any already established platform whereby you mentor young people in fashion?
Me, if I define mentor, that's just a sincere truth. You know, one thing these guys don't understand is that there is no template for fashion. You just, like I would fondly say, I've never had a mentor. I started having one recently, but earlier in those days of struggle, earlier in those days of humble beginning, there was no mentor. I was just doing my thing. My first showroom then was my creation. My designs were my creation. There was no pattern. I was just doing my thing. So as a matter of fact, I had to force my thing on people, and I see it works. So, you know, getting a mentor when you don't understand what you want to do is a problem. I feel it's a journey that you have to firstly understand what you want to do. you have to get a better understanding of the level or the type of fashion you want to, involve yourself into. Then probably you find someone doing something similar to guide you. Unlike someone like me, I don't see anybody doing what I'm doing. I literally create almost everything a man wears. So I rarely see people do the kind of things I do, and the idea is actually very different. So it's actually very difficult for me. If I see a mentor, I'll be very grateful to God, because it's very difficult building myself to this stage. So to answer your question directly, there is absolutely no platform to educate or mentor any mentee whatsoever. But once in a while, they do call, and whatever I have, I always give.
Then you're already mentoring people. Because when I said platform, maybe an official, maybe one or maybe an official webinar, conference, maybe physical meeting where you teach people. But if you mentor them on one-on-one basis, then because you're already giving back to the society.
Yes, exactly.
And these young ones, when they look up to you and draw inspiration from you, one or two words from you will go a long way.
Yes.
And while you were talking, while you were talking earlier, you made mention that now you have a mentor. I don't know who that is, but I believe now that you're expanding, I believe there are people you look up to, because you like to conquer Nigeria, conquer Africa, and the world at large. So here in Nigeria, at least I know Ifeka Joa, I know Maya Tafo, I know Sheivodi, and many of them. So as a brand, there are people who were there before you. So who are those people whose works entice you now that you're expanding?
Well, I wouldn't say I have a mentor, because I understand that mentoring someone is a big deal, and I know it's actually huge. So I don't have someone that I would say that I'm that close to call a mentor. But I have role models. You've mentioned quite a number of them, but there's this particular one that I don't joke with. It's called Amdidi on Instagram.
Amdidi?
Yeah. Okay. So the thing there is that I've been admiring this guy for a long time. So something brought me to Lagos early this year. That should be around February. So I think his shop was the first place I visited. I chatted him. I told him, I'm a fashion designer. I wanted to see you, familiarize with you and all, He said, okay, I'm around. Let's see tomorrow. Gave me the number of his PA. So I tracked his PA the next day. He happened to be on sick. So we came. He accepted me. She showed me around. Then went to his office to have, some tete. And this guy spoke a whole lot. I was thinking he's a Yoruba guy, as a matter of fact. I didn't know this guy was from Enugu.
Wow.
But he was born and brought up in Lagos. And most people don't know. I'm sorry that I'm saying this, because this happens to be kind of his little secret. But no, not ish. So he said a whole lot, and trust me, within that few minutes I spent with him, going to the fact that this is someone I admire so much, and I'm having a one-on-one, a one-on-one feel with him. So I owe a whole lot to him. He said because then I don't think we've gotten our new location. So from what he said, it actually shaped my already existing memory of what a fashion business should look like towards, becoming something much, much more better. So aside him, there are a whole lot of others. Any fashion designer doing so well currently, flying all around, the likes of the biggest of them all, Chibudi, Ifeka Joa, Maya Tafo, and so many other. Vicky James, yeah, she's in the sex female. She's in the sex female designer. I admire her. Yeah,
Vicky James is designed for male too.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I heard she makes most of the things her husband wears.
Wow.
Yes. So I envy her level of branding. So these people all joined together are my source of strength. Recently, Shay really has been giving us data. He has been pushing fashion designers about because he recently opened his new office in Lagos, I think about a week ago. So people were like asking him your source of income, how the fashion give you the huge amount of money to get this whole building. I think there were about 5 big buildings.
Wow.
All for the fashion use. So people were saying a whole lot of things on his comment section, and he took it upon himself to address fashion designers on the need to be on your feet, because we are not even in the top, should I say, top 1,000 fashion designers in the whole world. The likes of Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Prada, these guys generate about billions of naira on yearly revenue, and you can't see Nigeria fitting in any shape, and he's just doing something of that level. And just because we're used to, I don't know, we're used to not when I say not to accept growth. So seeing some light coming out from a fashion designer was an issue. So you see all these things, I see them, and they are source of strength to me. So I would say, more Jayo. Jayo is a Chinese word which means, more power to your able. Yes, so they should keep doing it all, because we're not able to assess them now because we are too busy doing our own thing. On the long run, we will. But in as much as we can assess them, from what they do, we draw a whole lot of strength. There's high probability that without the likes of Shevudi, I wouldn't know that a fashion designer can actually be that big. But it's opening our eyes to a whole lot of things that you can actually make out something huge from this soul tailoring thing. And by the special grace of God, we're feeling it.
So I'm Didi, the guy you said you met in Lagos.
Yeah.
Is someone you admire and look up
So much.
And you emphasize that speaking with him made you gain clarity.
A whole lot.
Yeah. So does that mean he's somebody that has so much value to offer to fashion designers?
That guy has a whole lot to offer.
Yeah. What were people crying on the internet when Dr. Steven charged $18,000 for his mentorship class? Whereas there are people who have come out to say that they paid this guy to give them clarity and mentor them, and they don't regret it. So somebody like you who met Didi in Lagos, and you are optimistic and you are sure of the value and clarity you got from him, this is mentorship. That moment you spoke with him opened your eyes to so many things in fashion industry, because nobody knows it all.
Exactly.
And he has been there before you.
Yes, he has been there, yeah.
So suffice it to say that Didi is one of your mentors now.
Well, he's so particular about growth. He made me understand that he has a whole lot to build for himself. So he can't take the position to become a mentor because he's still learning. Like, this is someone that I saw that actually understands this business and understand the fact that you have to know what you want to do this business. You can't just come into the fashion business to just do fashion. You have to understand what you want. At this point, he made it clear to me that people don't get fabrics to him to work. If you must work with him, you must work with his fabrics. And that's on period. Being able to grow to the level whereby you make such decisions means that you know what you're doing. So he has his own target. He has his own market. And I don't think these things are possible. But when he brought the whole idea to me, I was just seeing the whole picture. And I realized that, on my own end, I was actually working without guidance. So there's one or two things that I need to put in place, which actually, in a way, concludes on what you rightly pointed out that can actually call him a mentor.
Yes, I don't think that word mentor is too bogus.
Okay.
I believe a mentor is someone who does something you like.
Yes.
And you feel there are so many people who are mentors, but you don't need to meet them.
Yeah.
You just model what they're doing and then replicate them. And
Exactly.
personally, that's how I do. When I
Okay.
see people doing something I admire, I just look at them, observe them, and put it into practice and go my way. So, one thing I've understood from all you have said, clarity means knowing what you want, how to do it, and knowing the steps to go about to achieve them. That is why you have Dua, you have tailor, and you have fashion designer.
Exactly.
So it depends on how ready you are to work.
Exactly.
That is why you define where you are. There are many tailors, there are many fashion designers, and there are many Duas around. So
yes, exactly.
now, Bosco Clothings.
Yeah.
Where do you see this brand in 10 to 20 years' time? Before that question, How old is Bosco Clothings?
Bosco Clothings will be 9 by June 20th.
June 20th, 9
Yes.
years.
Yes.
So the first 9 years, we have seen the days of shuttling from school to home, days of buying and selling, till we can call those years your experimental years.
Yes, exactly.
So in the past 2-3 years, you have gained clarity about what you want to do.
Exactly.
And began the journey. So from the moment you realize this is what you want to do, not business, not buying and selling, you just want to create clothes. Where do you see this brand that you have modified and shaped into what you know today as Bosco Clothings? Where do you see it in 10-20 years' time?
Well, I don't think it's something I can even keep track on. I believe it's actually a very long time. I feel by then I must have retired.
Wow.
With what I'm seeing, I think 10-20 years from now, sorry to say this, I think I must have retired because we have so much put in place each and every year, at least from now to 5 years. Trust me, mark this date, from now to 5 years, we'll be getting our locations outside Nigeria.
Wow.
We're already working towards it.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, we can actually achieve it this year, but we have a whole lot in place. So I believe by 10 to 15 years, like you said, I think we will be all over the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
And seeing how the Western world admire African prints, African fabrics, African designs. So we are looking up to seeing you exhibit your works in Paris fashion show, all these fashion shows around the world. We are looking forward to seeing Bosco Clothings as one of the exhibiting brands.
We're already living that fate. Like last year, we did our first fashion show, which was, highly sponsored by some reputable brands like Pine Leaf Estates, RBA Estate and Homes, and so many other brands came in to push the narrative of fashion show, and it was a very, very big one here in Oka, Anambra State. And there's a high probability that we still have so much to do this year. I don't want to mention anything yet here, but just anticipate that it never ends. There are a whole lot of bomb coming in.
Before now, what we are used to, Anambra Fashion Expo.
Yeah.
But last year, September, October precisely.
Yes, that was October. Yeah.
You took Anambra by storm. Bosco Fashion Show, right?
Yeah, Bosco Clothings Fashion Show.
Bosco Clothing Fashion Show, yes. BCFS. Yeah, exactly. The hashtag was BCFS. So people came to see the normal fashion show, exhibition, the runway and all. But then there were some blending. Okay, there was a blend of culture because I saw masquerades.
Yeah.
As a proper Agwata man, I believe, because I saw the popular Ibamong of Agwata.
Yes, exactly.
People saw different traditions. So it's like a coinage of showbiz, fashion show, and cultural show. That people who came were left in awe. They were so entertained that. So, how did this come about? How did you pull it off?
Well, I feel I have my own definition of what fashion is. I feel fashion is a free verse for me. Free verse is a part of poetry whereby you choose to do whatever you want to do with your words. So that is what fashion is to me. So I feel our people down here in the East belittle what we have. In most fashion shows that I've attended, I see people doing the likes of Louis Vuitton, things that you cannot actually wear in Southeast. I'm an Igbo man. I don't segregate. No atom of tribalism. So, but even at that, I try as much as I can to protect my tribal marks, my tribal identities, which is the Igbo culture. So it's our thing because we are here. So we have to showcase our thing. So I think that day we displayed over 140 outfits
Wow.
on the full day. And I tried as much as I can to pay much attention on our Isiago outfits. There were about 15 collections of Isiago.
Wow.
Yeah, there were about 15 collections of our premium Abada.
Wow.
You know, we're actually bringing in our cultures into this whole thing so that people can actually not just watch, but want to wear. Unlike the likes you see the kind of slim models, rock, and after the whole show, it dies in the head. And trust me, this is what I feel I should do. Like, it's my thing. It's something that I know I should be doing. It has always been my thing, and it's something I'm really working on. That's why I said a whole lot of things is coming. Like, I feel that it wasn't as thick as it should be last year. So probably this year, something much more thicker would be coming. Probably. But just know that anything coming out from Bosco Clothings is something that you would not want to miss.
You have created an impression on Anambra people specifically, so they will be yearning for more. Because last year they saw, unlike what is obtainable in the West, because they reflect their culture, where they put on different designs, people wear masquerades and all whatnot. So I've asked myself that question. Some of these items on fashion show, are they replicable? Can people actually make these clothes and wear to casual outings?
Exactly.
But what we saw
can't.
during because I was present, I was privileged to be present there. What we saw during that fashion show you did last year were relatable wears that people can actually wear, not just some antiques or something that reflects articles of ostentation that people just keep somewhere and observe. So you did something that captivated the people of Anambra who are not used to these fashion shows and all whatnot.
Let me shock you. Did you know we sold over 50% of those outfits that day?
Wow.
Trust me.
Wow.
People could, relate to those outfits. So, right, they actually asked me on time, can they actually buy what they see? I said, of course, the clothes are for sale. So they didn't even mind, just to show you that they have been hungering for this. And, the nature of people that came for that show, I tried as much as I can to push the publicity to so many guys who have already a failed mindset about fashion because of the likes of what others have been doing. So I told them, come and see what an Odogu should look like. And trust me, everybody who came for that fashion show, we are so trapped that they could not go until the whole displays were made. And aside that, I try as much as I can to infuse some culturally related activities like the masquerade you mentioned. I feel that's fashion too. The choir, the chorister, I feel that's fashion too. They were all dressed in their own outfits and all. So the whole look, harnessed to the event and made it something that people are still craving for till now.
Wow. That's good. So, doing these exploits at this young age, because I believe if this were to be Forbes, this is CEO under 30. I'm not revealing your age anyway. But achieving all this, doing these exploits at this young age, what do you have distractions? Is there any aspiring Miss Ifeka somewhere? There's this popular saying that behind every successful man, there's always a woman. Don't tell me that your mother is there. Is there any woman?
Oh, she was there.
Yes, your mother gave birth to you and nurtured you. But now, is there any woman behind these successes we are seeing one after the other?
Well, I'll have to be very sincere with you. Fashion is in as much as it's a noble career, is a complicated one, especially with people who do not understand the processes. So I feel it has always been a problem, owing to the fact that I don't think I have any other priority but to be the best in what I'm doing. So every other thing that comes for now stands to be second and third and fourth. So, and I've met people who obviously they would want me to, misplace priority and all. It has never been my thing. But I'm keep praying and keep hoping, that in the nearest future, that something could happen.
So currently, there is no room for relationship. There's no room for any other thing apart from Bosco Clothings.
Exactly.
Because I believe that is the reason why every week we see new designs. And these
Exactly.
designs are not replicated.
Thank you so much.
How do you come up with these designs?
Well, the thing there is, like I always say, being creative is a gift from God. And it is very difficult to spend time with me as a staff and you don't end up becoming creative.
It rubs off.
Yeah, it does. Trust me. So, aside the fact that I create a whole lot of designs, I have put my staff in the position whereby they can actually do these things by the company rules. We have company rules to the kind of designs we create. And once we sense a foul play, we can actually change it within a twinkle of an eye. It's a big deal. Our designs are big deals. So my staff are so into the whole creation thing that
So they now make designs too.
yes, they now make designs too. And the thing there is, most of the designs would have to go through me, so that I'll have to
Final
apply
touches.
the final touches to make them come to life. Most of them. So I think that is why we don't run out of creation every day of our life. We create not less than 10 designs every day of our lives, except on Sundays.
Wow. That is good. Because many young men in Oka are obsessed. I have an opportunity to buy one or two. Okay? So I noticed that there is something different about this your brand that makes people want to identify with it. And from this, you usually call it tete-a-tete.
Yeah.
From this conversation I've had with you, I've come to realize that this is a blend of tenacity, determination, hard work, consistency, hard work, and hard work, and hard work. Because it's not easy.
Yeah, never.
Many people start, then you see this consistency and hard work. This is the summary of what I've seen that is driving your brand. And I believe in the near future, all you have said will come to pass, and even more. Because where you were yesterday is not where you are today. And going forward, you will explore and conquer territories. People will walk into your showroom, come out with bags, and go home within 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So, do you offer ready-to-wear clothes? Do you make different clothes in different sizes so that people can just walk in and get ones that fit them? How do you do this?
Well, ready to wear for me is a must, because I believe that's one of the way of solving one of the major problems for men, because most men don't have patience. Some would want their clothes ready within 24 hours, and you already have a whole lot of orders, fired up. So I had to think outside the box. I know this would be very difficult because we have barriers with regards to color, measurement, style. So, being able to combine this whole thing is a big deal, like I always say. So I had to, I aside the practical aspect, I went for some classes too, and in all, through God's grace, I was able to combine this whole thing together to be that creative, to create things that people can actually walk in and pick, because I have a whole lot of people who have tried this out and it's not working for them, and they're still trying. It's very difficult to understand how I make it work. So I feel it's my talent, it's my grace. Our new office now situated at First Market, Ifite, Oka, Anambra State. When you come there, you see a whole lot of male wear. We have likes of vintage Korea shirts, two-piece, jalabia, senators, suit, name them, glasses, shoes, half shoe. As long as it's something a man wear, you will certainly see it in our store. And to shock you, we make everything in that store.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So, if someone fixes his wedding today,
Yes,
he's free to walk in that wedding morning, pick a suit, pick a shoe, pick watch, pick wristwatch, pick every fashion item, and walk straight to the church.
exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. Yeah, of course.
Wow. Well, to say that I'm dumbfounded is an understatement. I've been edified I'm short of words. Thank you so much for these mind-blowing stories.
You're
Words
welcome.
of encouragement.
You're welcome.
Both for me and for everybody out there who wants to draw an inspiration from somebody who started from the scratch. Because this is what we call from scratch to grass to grace. And I believe that the sky is your starting point.
Thank you.
The world is yours to conquer and exploit. Okay? And you have no boundary. Seeing where you're coming from. Because you made mention that hunger was your initial driving force.
Exactly.
But I believe now it's passion, because looking at you now,
Absolutely.
hunger is no longer the driving
Passion
force.
oriented.
So here at Creative Converse, we are so happy to host you. We are so happy to hear from you. So shout out to our fans at Creative Converse. What do you have to tell them? What do you have to tell them?
Shout out to Creative Converse for finding me worthy to be sitting here. We really do things like this because our hands are always on deck. But finding me worthy to be here, it's a very big deal. Thank you so much. Bless.
Thank you so much. Nice to have you, man.
Thank you, sir.
So what about my fashion gifts? So
This is 8 o'clock already. I think they've gone.
you've gone?
Let's say tomorrow.
Okay, so I can grab anything I can while leaving.
Yeah, you can. You can.